Welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas Fat Loss Edition. For the next 12 days, I'm diving into the real strategies and tools that actually help women lose stubborn fat after 40. These aren't trends, they're not extremes, and it's definitely not me saying you just need more willpower. We're still releasing our regular weekly episodes too, so make sure you're following the show so you don't miss a thing. All right, let's get into today's episode. For years, I thought feeling flat, unmotivated, and disconnected from my body was just adulting. I thought the low energy, the lack of hunger, the disappearing sex drive, that was just what happened when life got busy and stress got higher and I got older. Turns out that wasn't adulting at all. That was metabolic dysfunction. Because when your metabolism is healthy, your body sends very clear signals. You feel hunger at appropriate times. You experience joy and motivation. You have sexual desire, drive, and curiosity. And when those signals disappear, it's not random. It's your nervous system, your hormones, and your metabolism adapting to chronic stress, underfueling, inflammation, and depletion. And if you're not happy, hungry, or horny, your metabolism is slow. Period. Once you understand why, fat loss after 40 makes so much more sense. So let's break it down. Let's start with hunger, because this one confuses women the most. If you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry within an hour of waking, here's what's actually happening. You're waking up with a higher than normal cortisol spike. Your body is using stress hormones to raise blood sugar because it doesn't trust that food is coming. So you feel wired, maybe a bit anxious, definitely not calm and grounded. And then you layer in caffeine and you tell yourself, I'm just not hungry in the morning, or I'm just not a breakfast person. Sometimes you feel like fasting actually makes you feel better. But here's the truth. If your hunger cues are not working, neither are your hormones. Hunger is regulated by ghrelin, insulin, cortisol, and thyroid signaling. When those symptoms are dysregulated, hunger disappears. And when hunger disappears, your metabolism slows because your body thinks food is scarce. A body that trusts food is coming burns fat easily. A body that's unsure conserves. So what are we going to do about it? You're going to stop treating lack of hunger like a badge of honor. You know those women who say they just forgot to eat lunch? That's what I'm talking about. Stabilize your blood sugar instead of chasing fasting highs. Eat consistently enough that cortisol doesn't have to run the show. Teach your body that food is safe again. Because if your hunger feels weird, your metabolism is already compromised. Okay, now let's talk about happiness. And I'm not talking about like fake positivity here. I'm talking about real, in your gut happiness. Because most women don't walk around saying, oh, I'm so depressed. They say things like, I have no energy. I don't really want to do that. I don't enjoy things anymore. I'm not finding joy. I'm not exactly anxious, but I'm not calm either. This isn't mindset, and it's not willpower. This is your physiology. There is a very real bidirectional relationship between your gut, your nervous system, inflammation, and how your brain produces and responds to neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. And while it's overly simplistic to say that 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut, what is true is when your gut is inflamed, stressed, or dysfunctional, the brain cannot function optimally. I've worked with countless women who came to me on medication for anxiety or depression, and as they healed their gut, inflammation, mineral status, blood sugar, many of them felt well enough to work with their prescribing doctor to reduce or come off their medication entirely. Not because of the supplements needed to replace the meds, but because the root cause of the stress response was finally being addressed. And that's what matters. Because a nervous system that is inflamed or underfueled and dysregulated cannot feel joyful. It does not feel playful, and it does not feel safe enough to let go of any excess weight. Happiness is not some fluffy thing we desire. It is a metabolic signal. So what are we going to do about it? We are going to stop assuming that this is just how life is now. Start looking at your gut health. systemic inflammation, mineral status, blood sugar, and chronic stress. When your nervous system calms down and your body feels supported, joy comes back naturally, just like fat loss becomes easy. And when that happens, you know your metabolism is speeding up. Now, let's talk about sex drive, because this one makes women uncomfortable, which tells me it's important. Sexual desire is not optional. It's not shallow, and it's not something you outgrow. Sex drive is a vital sign. Your body only prioritizes desire, curiosity, and pleasure when it feels safe, fueled, supported, and not under threat. When libido disappears, women assume, I'm just tired, I'm touched out, this is what happens after kids, this is what happens during menopause. And sometimes those factors are true, but they are not the root cause. A low libido equals energy preservation. Your body is saying, I don't have capacity. And yes, self-consciousness plays a different role in this, but biology always comes first. If you want to go deeper on this subject, go listen to my episode on sex after 40, because when health is optimized, that means when you have taken care of your gut health, your hormones are balanced, your blood sugar is balanced, and your nervous system is regulated, your libido cannot disappear. It actually gets better. And no, that's not hype. This is real physiology. So what are we going to do about it? First and foremost, stop normalizing a libido loss in menopause. Support your hormones and your nervous system's safety. Reduce chronic stress and under recovery. And increase or rebuild your metabolic capacity instead of pushing harder in all aspects of your life. Your sexual desire will return when the body feels abundant. Quick pause. If you're listening and thinking, okay, one or more of these things is definitely me, start with clarity. I've created a free metabolism assessment that helps identify which system is slowing things down. Is it stress, minerals, hormones, gut, or maybe metabolic adaptation? No judgment, just information you can actually use. The link is in these show notes or in my Instagram bio. So here's the real reframe that I want you to walk away with from this episode. Happy, hungry, horny. These are not personality traits. They are not random, and they are not things you need to push through. They are all feedback from your body. When one or all of them is missing, your body is telling you exactly which systems are under strain. And this is where testing matters, because guessing doesn't work. If you're not hungry, we need to understand why. If your joy feels muted, we need to understand why. And if your sex drive has disappeared, we need to understand why. And this is what functional testing is for. Not to overwhelm you with more data, but to identify which systems are asking for support. And that's the most important part. Healing doesn't come from forcing your body into compliance. It comes from working with your body to restore trust and health. When you support the systems that are struggling, digestion, stress, hormones, minerals, your signals start to change. Hunger returns, joy comes back, and sexual desire reappears. And when all those signals are present, that's when metabolism speeds up naturally. And when fat loss stops feeling like a fight. Not because you tried harder, but because you finally felt supported enough to let go. Tomorrow's episode is going to challenge a different assumption. Can you actually be in the best shape and the best health of your life after 40? Make sure you follow the show and come back tomorrow for day 7 of the 12 Days of Christmas Fat Loss Edition. I'll see you then.
If this conversation stirred something up in you, if you feel even a little more clear, more curious, or more inspired, share it. Send it to a friend who's been quietly wondering if the way she feels is just how it is now, and tag me on Instagram or LinkedIn at @MichelleScarlett_. I truly love hearing what lands for you. And if something came up during this episode, a question, a symptom, a story, email me directly at michelle@michellescarlett.com. I personally read every message and I'll help you get clear on what you're dealing with and what to do next. You don't have to settle. You don't have to figure it out alone. This is your space to take your health, your life, and your success back into your hands.